I'm sorry? Goodbye? Oh no. Hey you guys, how you doing? I'm Richard with Everlasting Gaming, and welcome back to Forget Me Not. We're healing with friends today, after a crazy day yesterday with Michael telling us he cheated on us and breaking up with us, and then Roger kissing us, and then them seeing each other and then arguing. It was this whole stupid thing. The day is over. Holy crap, Emmett's been through a hell of a lot. He needs today. He's gonna heal with Sky. I'm excited to see what will happen next because Michael actually ran up and apologized to us, so we're gonna find out together, I guess. Hey Sky, your dad's not home, right? I'm raiding Sky's cabinets for snacks before we head off and watch the movie. Sky is leaning against the counter and taking a sip of a can of soda. Oh yeah, he's in Portland for a work trip. Okay, cool. Do you think he'll notice if I steal some liquor from your cabinet? Damn, Emmett is depressed. I hear Sky practically choke on her drink before settling it down on the counter, furrowing her eyes at me. You're joking, right, Emmett? Not really, I guess. I grumble and close the cabinet before I do anything. I'll regret and sigh. Sky looks at me a little sympathetically, and knows why I'm in a glum mood. Just before we decided to get something to eat, I told her about the situation with Michael. It felt good to get it off my chest, but thinking about it now was ruining the mood. I just wanted to forget about it, but it's not really that easy. Sky turns to the fridge and pulls out a tub of Rocky Road ice cream, and then shows it to me. How about a little healthier alternative? She holds it closer to my face, and I back away and lift an eyebrow. Healthier alternative? You know it's kind of diabetes in the box, right? Come on, doesn't it look tempting? You just can't say no to this delicious dairy product. Oh, I can, I fucking love ice cream. Isn't this like peer pressure? Yeah, tell the principal about me. Go on, I dare you. I'm that hardcore. I let out a chuckle and give in to the ice cream. It's kind of odd eating ice cream in the winter, but then again, this is Sky we're talking about. While I plop a couple scoops into a bowl, I sigh, feeling a bit empty inside. I'm not even sure why, but I'm reminded of Michael again. It's like I'm seeing his face everywhere, and I don't think that's very healthy. You're depressed, buddy. Sky sees me frozen up, then pats my back and gets me back into reality. Breakups are really tough. But trust me, you'll get through it, okay? Yeah, I know. It's just, aside from being angry, I can't help but feel a little sad. I'm worried for our future, too. I mean, like, what does that mean for our friendship? He's a completely different person now. There's so many emotions. Sometimes I kind of wish we never got into it in the first place. That's understandable. It's terrible how it all crumbled down like that. But do you really wish that it never happened? It's better to have loved than lost, than never to have loved at all. You learn from the things that went wrong. Even if it's not that much, it'll help you out in the future. Even though there may be some bad, you still had good memories, right? I doubt he's going to avoid talking to you forever, so maybe things will work out. Yeah. I force a smile and absorb Sky's advice and think that it has some truth to it. Everything feels better right now, but it shines with truth. Bitter right now, sorry. Excuse me. I take a bite out of my ice cream and feel slightly at ease. I know this is kind of random, but you said that he's been smoking pot, right? Yeah. Why? Well, I can't help but think that maybe, there's more to Michael than he's trying to show. Yeah, there's a lot. I have like a billion questions. I don't think he broke up with us on purpose, I'm telling you. He may be going through some issues. Drugs are an escape for most people. It's a way to cope with things. Yeah. I think there's a bigger story to his reasons for breaking up with you. That's what I said. But I'd give him some space right now. And some space for you too. Just eat all the ice cream you want of it. You'll be fine. Yeah. Thanks, Sky. I look up and smile at her, and she grins back. Well, no problem. Ever since that incident yesterday, I never really thought about something like that. It makes sense. But I still don't think Michael is going to tell me anything anytime soon. I guess time is the best medicine in this case. Well, enough of grim talk. Let's get back to the movie. We have like 2 more hours to go, right? Yep. Time to party. Ew, that's an ugly couch. Just saying, look at that. That's like something your great aunt Bertha picked out. It's like, honey, this is for you. I hope you like it. Happy wedding. Nope. I hate it. It's horrible. We both walk out of the kitchen and go back to her living room, and Sky takes a huge bite out of her ice cream. Ah, shit. Brain freeze. Ow. Worst pain ever. I think you partied too hard, Sky. Shut up and start the movie. I laugh as Sky shivers and press play on the remote controller. We stayed up until 10 o'clock watching movies until my mom called and wanted me home. Me and Sky said our goodbyes, and I walked home feeling much happier than I was before. When I got home, I checked my phone one last time and didn't get a text or a missed call from Michael. I guess it's obvious he wouldn't try to contact me. And of course, it's not like he tries to contact me before this whole mess either. When I was lying in my bed, I kept myself awake, worrying about all the stuff I tried to keep out of my head. How is I going to face Michael now? We have a ton of classes together. It sucks. That is, if he's even going to show up at school. What if he becomes addicted to some other kind of drug? Will he continue seeing that other person? Our relationship is over, and yet I can't stop worrying about him. I try to force myself asleep and hide my face under my pillows. It's officially winter break now, and the days keep passing me by. There's only 5 days left until Christmas is here, but everything feels kind of dull. Christmas was never really much of a lively holiday for me in the past, but this year feels especially somber. We're not really having a big Christmas dinner like we've had in the past, and of course, Dad most likely isn't going to show up. And then there's Michael. I haven't talked to him since that incident a couple days ago. Part of me is relieved I don't have to see him in school, since it'd be awkward. But it kills me to know I can't see him, and I don't know how he's doing. And that is destroying me. But he cheated on me, and I'm angry. And I love him. Oh, you poor bastard, I'm so sorry. Everybody just send virtual ice cream to Emmett. He totally needs it right now. I let out a long breath as I sit on the floor, resting my back against my bed. I've been sitting here for about 15 minutes, just staring blankly into the wall and thinking. There's nothing to do, and I feel so lonely. I turn my head just slightly and hear footsteps coming up the hallway and nearing my room. I try to grab a book nearby and open it, but she comes in too quickly. I look up at her and I hold my book. Emmett, your dinner has been in the microwave for 40 minutes. My mom. She's just so in your face. Oh, I'm reading, so I forgot. I look back at my mother, who's crossing her arms in the doorway, and I can clear my throat. Yeah. Your book is upside down. We totally failed. We're the worst. Glancing back down at the book quickly, I panic and realize that I must have grabbed it the wrong way. You dweeb. I heave a sigh, relax my shoulders in defeat, and look back up for her next response. My mother just stands there for a little bit, inspecting every corner of my room with her eyes. It's probably been a while since she took a good look at my room, because she rarely comes inside it. You haven't really been yourself lately. Well, it's practically impossible to hide anything from my mother. Dude, moms just know. They look into your soul and they know. Like my mom, years ago, she would know if I ever lied. She'd just look me right in the eyes. I'm like, yeah, I can't. It's a maternal thing, I don't know. It's been a while since I've had such a concerned look since I've seen such a concerned look on her face showing. I guess it's only natural for her to react like that. I haven't been eating that much lately, and I've just been sitting around in my room for the past couple of days. In fact, I'm kind of worrying myself. I'm fine. A lie comes out of my mouth without thinking, but I can't imagine actually telling my mother the whole truth. Really? She raises her eyebrow, walks further into the room, and sits on the side of my bed. We're both right next to each other, except I'm on the ground. Yeah, I'm good. I'm just tired. There's a silence between us for a good minute before my mom breaks it. It's about Michael, isn't it? See? Mothers know. Suddenly, my posture straightens up, and I can't help but look a little shocked. My mother never ceases to amaze me. Those marine senses, man. But in this case, I feel like I'm going to get a heart attack, because I don't want to come out of the closet to her at a time like this. What gives you that idea? Well, she smirks and does something off her sleeve, then continues. For a while, you were always Michael this and Michael that. Remember when I asked you about inviting Michael over for Christmas? You never gave me an answer back. Naturally, you two don't seem as close as you used to be. I sigh and give in to defeat. My mother is absolutely right. She figured out the source to my problem in no time. I feel like I'm a little kid again. Whenever I used to get sad or angry, my mother would sit me down and try to find out the answers to my feelings. She'd always manage to find them almost as if she was pulling them out of my head. I guess those kinds of things never change, and they probably never will. I guess so. We stopped talking on bad terms, and I'm kind of worried about him, but I just don't know what to do. Sometimes bad feelings are better not left alone. You're a good friend and you care about him, even when you're mad at him. Maybe he feels the same way. You should just try to talk to him. And after that, if you both need space, then just give yourself some space. But if you're really so worried that you're in this much of a mess, then maybe there's more to the story that you aren't telling me. She raises an eyebrow and seems to be putting on some kind of faint smile. I can imagine like a super fake smile. She'd be like, it's like a really horrible, ugly smile. I clear my throat aggressively and shake my head. No, we just got into a fight. Well then, talk to him as soon as you can. I never did actually meet him, and I'd love to have him over for Christmas dinner. Yeah. Thanks, Mom. My mother ruffles my hair, gets up from the bed, and holds her hands out for me to grab. I take her hand, lift myself up off the floor, and stand up. Ready to finally eat some food now? I guess. Well, it wasn't much of a question. I would have forced it on you anyway. Oh, Mom. I scoff, Mom smiles, and we leave my room to go downstairs and eat. My mom seems like such a cold woman on the outside, but deep inside she's the most caring and thoughtful mother I could have ever asked for. Times like these, she really helps me get through everything. So I guess I'll just have to wait and see for what happens. Maybe I'll give him a little bit of space and then try to contact him. Maybe this will all start to get better, eventually. I was gonna say, this is Michael's house. This house has been empty ever since I returned here, and to be honest, I don't think I care. I think we're back at Michael's perspective now. I love that shift because it really gives you the whole picture instead of us just wondering. I don't care about I do not care about anything nowadays. Hell, I don't really care if I eat or not. I don't care if I live or die. I'm not sure if it's a result of the drugs, the prescription pills, or maybe a little bit of both. He has a lot of inner issues he isn't exposing to us here. It's crazy. But this isn't how I've always been. No, not quite. Oh, flashback. I used to be okay. I used to feel. I used to be normal, or at least I think that's what it was. Right, normal. Oh, and then things got dark. And then I lost it. The pills helped me fake them for just a little bit. Enough to play pretend for others and myself. Maybe a little bit more for myself. The people I used to know thought it was easy. They thought the pills would simply solve my problems. Why do you still look so down? They were working, but they weren't. They made me feel even worse. I was relying on a bunch of little things I had to adjust every day for the sake of keeping me steady. And some days I would feel okay. And the rest of the days, I feel like some kind of experiment. I feel terrible. It felt so terrible that what you had could not simply be fixed. It wasn't as simple as some kind of miracle pill. And nobody had the right answers for me. I had no answers for myself. So I gave up. And using drugs weren't the best idea. I know. But what's the worth anymore? Really, what am I good for anyway? From the day my mother died, nobody thought I was worth much of anything to at least take care of. I was a bastard child of a druggie, and I'm sure it didn't take long for them to forget about me. I was the faggot who tried to kiss my best friend in middle school. See, I knew he had some type of, homosexual trauma at some point. And I was the guy who told my boyfriend I cheated on him, and he was the only person who really cared about me. It was all for some drugs that weren't worth what I had to give up for them. Emmett. All the time I spent with Emmett for the first time, I felt real. It dawned on me for the first time that this is what it's like to really have a friend. I felt alive. I didn't linger too much on the negative side of life, and I was able to break out of my shell around him. When he asked me out, I was scared to death. I liked him, but I was horrified. There was no going back. Our friendship would never be the same, and Emmett didn't really understand that. To be honest, I'm not really sure how the dating thing really interferes with our relationship, though. I remember him saying, and he was so naive. For a moment I thought I could do this. We can make this work. But I was wrong. Just then, everything came into play at the worst time. I fucked up. I trusted you. You were my friend. Ever since I took medication regularly, I felt like life had always quickly passed me by. I would get emotional, but not for too long. I forgot how to feel, how to respond to people. I was faring well with depression, but it was like I had lost some part of myself for an equal exchange. And strangely, after I told Emmett I cheated on him, I couldn't help but feel like time, after so long, caught up with me. When Emmett walked away and shut the door, I cried. For once in 5 years, I cried. Whoa, interesting little mix of the picture here. I love you, Michael. I really do. But I just can't trust you anymore. I guess that kind of represents how everything just shattered for him. As much as I want to sink away and disappear, I want to tell Emmett that I'm sorry. He never has to trust me ever again. But I wanted to know that he was the only person who made me feel like a human being. He was the person who helped me discover myself all over again. I was truly happy. He means so much to me. I want to thank him. But I don't know if I can really hold out that long. I'm drowning in all my mistakes. I'm suffocating in my own mess of myself. So is he saying that he didn't actually cheat on us? He just told us that? Because he didn't say for sure. Unless he's referring to that moment that Roger claims happened. But at least now we know he's depressed. And the pills were so he feels stuff, but it's not helping. He has some, maybe like a chemical imbalance or something? What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments below. What do you think's going on with Michael? I don't want to own up to anything. I don't want to explain anything. I don't want to think. I've watched my whole world crumble as I tore it down. For far too long. Message from Michael. Oh, man. December 22nd, 8:14 p.m. Oh, man. This stuff is about to get dark, isn't it? I'm sorry? Goodbye? Oh, no. This better not be like goodbye, like goodbye. Yep. This is bad, you guys. I've got to get to Michael's house. I don't know what that means, but the first thought that comes to my mind is something terrible. I've got to get there as fast as I can. That's all I'm thinking, and that's all I know. By the time I reach his house, I'm panting and staring up at the moon. I start to doubt myself, and finally realize how stupid it was of me to run all the way here. What will I say to my mother when I get back home? And I've suddenly lost the confidence to even take a step further towards his house. Screw it, come outdoor. Go look out for your friend, dude. I take one last look at the roof and sigh. I start to turn around, but I notice something out of the corner of my eye. I can see a figure being illuminated by the moonlight behind the roof. My eyes open widely as I move a little closer to peer at what I'm seeing. That can't be. A person up there? I stand there frozen on the sidewalk, concentrating on the shadowy image on the rooftop. As I look closer, I can see that they are standing up now, and the face of the figure is exactly how I anticipated. Oh, Michael's gonna jump, isn't he? This is so crazy, you guys. Why do these things always end in suicide? Like almost every visual novel ends in suicide. Without thinking, I come out further to the front of the house where he can see me. My chest is pounding and the blood is rushing through my head so quickly that my hearing is low. Somehow, though, I can see that Michael notices me and seems to whisper my name out. Dude, don't do it, man. Emmett. Oh, you guys, no. I walk even closer towards his house, and as I look up at him, I can feel a surge of fury flowing through me. What are you doing here? He wasn't about to do this. No, he wasn't going to do this, right? I take a deep breath and the muscles in my face twitch. You're an asshole, Michael. I know we're over, but you're still my friend. Did you really think you could tell me goodbye like that? Did you really think I'd be okay with that? Is that how you say goodbye to somebody? I'm coming up there, so don't even move a muscle. If you jump, I'll kill you with my own 2 hands. A rapid panting breath escapes my mouth as I quickly run into his yard and to the side of the house. There's a ladder in sight, and I immediately make my way up, carefully trying not to slip and reach the roof. By the time I'm up on the roof, I'm out of breath, and there are some tears in the corner of my eyes. I quickly wiped them off on my sleeve and stared at Michael sternly. If you want to die, you're going to have to do it in front of me. Michael stares at me, but I can't tell what he looks like in this lighting. After a little bit, I can see his figure starting to sit down where he was standing. The harsh look on my face begins to disappear, and I let out a relieved sigh. I feel like I'm going to cry again. If I had gotten here any later. I try not to think about it, and cautiously take steps next to Michael, then sit down. For a while, we don't talk to each other. We just looked at the stars together. This is something me and Michael share. Looking at the stars. The sparkling little dots of light shining up there against the velvet sky. These night skies are something most people took for granted. But for me and Michael, it's something we cherished. I don't know if I was jumping to conclusions about the suicide thing. Excuse me. But he didn't try to defend himself. I want to ask him questions so badly, but I can't. Maybe not right now. He's kind of sensitive right now. I don't want to bring up anything about this whole issue. Maybe I just wanted to forget it even happened. Kind of like old times, huh? I guess. Yeah. A small smile appears on my face for just a moment and I sigh. It's almost like how we met each other. I've actually never thought about that memory until now. It's funny how not so long ago, I couldn't stop thinking about it. This was when I met Michael again, at the beginning of the school year. And now, we've become really close. I looked to Michael, sitting with his knees tightly together, with his face down at the ground. So, do you really want an explanation? Huh? I remember the last time we talked to each other. You wanted me to at least give you an explanation. I just want to say, look at his face, concern, sadness, he just has nothing. It's amazing, like, depression can just take all the light out of you. It's so crazy. And whoever did the artwork on this, bravo, you did a great job. I try to remember the memories of the day Michael told me he just cheated on me. A tinged feeling in my chest awakens. This is what I wanted, yes? Out of everything? I just wanted an explanation from him. Obviously, there was so much more going on that he was going to tell me, and he wasn't telling much at all. Yeah? I gulp and nod a little at him. I just want to know. I just want him to tell me. I really want to know. I want you to tell me. But I can't help but feel nervous. What is he going to tell me? I take a deep breath and listen to him attentively. If I had never come here today, I may have never been able to listen to him at all. Well, here we go, you guys. Michael lets out a sigh and brushes his hair back. He continues to look forward, and his voice is very mellow, but clear. I wouldn't be lying if I said that using drugs weren't what started this whole thing. But then again, I've always been on drugs. It's just that they weren't prescribed and legal. When I was 13, I was diagnosed with depression. Depression is a terrible thing, you guys. I kept going through so many different pills. Sometimes they'd work, sometimes they wouldn't. I would get some bad side effects occasionally, but hey, at least the government was paying for all of it. And for so many years, I don't know, I just got tired. So for some time, I just stopped taking them. Michael pauses and shivers for a moment, but continues. It was maybe about 2 months ago when I was at practice. Because I wasn't taking my pills, I was kind of having an episode. It affected my performances in the game. I wasn't doing so great, mentality-wise. After the game, when everyone left, the coach scolded me. Strangely, he wasn't being as brutal as he usually was. He said he understood how I felt. It was scary how well he described me at the time. So naturally, I was drawn in. He said he knew what would make me feel better, so I stayed and listened. Oh, God. He took out a bag of drugs and gave it to me for free. He showed me how to roll it, light it, smoke it, everything. So his coach taught him how to smoke weed. I got a little high, but for the most part, I didn't like it. I didn't like it, but it felt good. It felt different. I didn't feel like a pill junkie, you know? Anyway, it was time to leave, but I didn't feel like taking a bus home. I mean, we were all the way in another city. So he offered me a ride home. Oh, God, you guys. So this is going to get dark. I got that, you know that feeling in your stomach when you know something bad's about to happen? I feel like he's about to tell us something bad. So he offered me a ride home. I was tired and I felt like shit, so I took it. Michael seems to hunch over a bit, and his hands grasp his head, almost like he was having a headache. I gulp, but I have a feeling I know where this is going. Yeah, me too. I hope it's not going this way. He... You guys. He didn't drive me home. He stopped in an abandoned parking lot somewhere. I don't know where. It was so dark. Oh my god, guys, my stomach. So one thing led to another. I don't even know how it started. I can't really remember it all that well. I don't even want to. Michael looks away from me and pauses. He laughs to himself, but it sounds like he's crying. I don't say anything and give him some time to pull himself together, and he starts talking again. We didn't go all the way, but still. I didn't even put up a fight. I wasn't really that high, but I liked it. That guy was probably 30 years old, and he told me he'd give me some more joints for free after what we did. He shivers a little bit, but he's not hunched over anymore. I knew it. I called it from the beginning. His friggin' coach sexually molested him. It's terrible. Something of a self-pitying laugh escapes his mouth. Whoa. Jeez. I sucked my own coach's dick for some weed. Aren't I just a piece of shit? No, dude, it's not your fault, man. Your brain was all over the place. He's taking advantage of you. It's terrible. I have no idea what to say to him after I've learned all of this. Michael said, I'm cheating on you. This is really not what I imagined. My encounters with him only happened 3 times. Yeah, he tried to intimidate me at first. He started blackmailing me about the drugs. He threatened to tell a school social worker, and they'd get me transferred again for sure. He knew about you, too. My eyes grow big for a moment after what he says, but I can't open my mouth and say anything. I think back and I remember the day when we were at the diner by the beach. That guy was the coach, and that was about 2 months ago. I hold my hand to my stomach after feeling like it's twisted. That's how I've been feeling for the past 5 minutes reading this. I kind of want to throw up, but it's not so serious. All this time, there really was something odd about him, and yet I didn't know it. There really wasn't a way I could have known. That's true, but still. I couldn't do anything for Michael. All this time, Michael was going through all this by himself, and I had no idea. If anyone, I'm the one that feels like shit. So that's what he meant when he said he was cheating on me. Because he was doing those things with the coach, he felt like he was cheating on me for drugs. That's how he was taking that. Okay, now I understand. Yeah, well, he invaded my privacy sometimes. He used you as a tactic to get me to stay longer. He knew I was absolutely terrified of having to be relocated. I would be with another family again. And so, it happened 2 more times. The third was a couple weeks ago, I think. That's when you stopped coming to school. Michael nods and sighs. He's holding his elbows to his sides, and it reminds me of the time I noticed all those scratches on him. He would bother me when I was in other classes sometimes. I could have just tried to ignore him, but altogether, I just didn't want to be at school anymore. When I quit the team, that was the last time I saw him. Those scratches must be from the coach, no doubt. That's just terrible. And Michael didn't say anything? I didn't realize I knew he was a foster, but I didn't realize he didn't have a caretaker or someone watching him. I guess not. That's crazy. No, he couldn't say anything. The coach put him in that kind of situation. Michael sinks back down again, gently hugging his knees and looking down. I've always wanted to tell you, I'm sorry. You don't deserve me. I think that's what frightened me the most about you. You were so accepting of me. And then I made you reach your limit. And you're still here. You're still trying to hold on to me. Michael. I want to tell Michael it's okay, but he doesn't have to apologize like this. He doesn't have to think like this. But I can't say anything. Words just won't come out. I try to touch him gently on the shoulder, but he quickly lashes and slaps my hand away. Don't try to sympathize with that. Don't try to sympathize with me like you don't understand what I've done wrong. I'm a fucking terrible person and you know it. I'm disgusting. Just say it. Self-loathing isn't always justified, my friend. In a way, I understand his mindset completely now. I think we all do. I think I know the real Michael. Everything in his life has been piling up on top of him, making him hate himself. This incident with the coach was just the last straw. He's been shamed and hated for God knows how long, Maybe somewhere along the line, he started believing it. Or maybe he's always believed it. Maybe he was good at hiding it. You're crazy. That's not true. Totally spit on my computer. Sorry about that. I clutch his hand tightly and stare attentively in his eyes. You're not terrible. You're not disgusting. Do you really understand what that man did to you? Michael, he sexually harassed you. Excuse me. I didn't fight him back or anything. It wasn't. If you didn't like what he was doing to you and you weren't 100% consensual, it was harassment. Admit it, Michael. It was. Rape. Michael's eyes open widely and stare me in the face for a long time. I feel like the glass wall he's been hiding behind is starting to shatter now. He starts to shiver slightly, then lowers his head and brings his hands to his face. Softly, he starts crying. A faint, strained sob echoes from the depths of his heart. Oh, you guys. With all his mental issues, he's been holding that in, and now we're bringing it out of him. We're helping him feel something, finally. I pull him close, embrace him as tightly as I can, and I don't say a word. How? I don't know how. You're okay with me. Why? It's because I love you, Michael. Oh. What kind of person would I be if I wasn't okay with you? Listen, I know you're punishing yourself for all these mistakes that you've made, but you have to understand, we're all human. We all make mistakes. But you've got to be able to realize what's a mistake and what's not. What happened with the coach is not your fault. Michael buries his face in my chest, clutching onto me when he hears me say that. I don't know how, but somehow I was able to pull him up from this dark hole. For now, I saved Michael. Of course, I don't feel happy about it at all. I'm relieved I was able to save him from doing something that might have ended his life, but I'm not a hero of anything. It's not like it's the ending of the story when everything will be okay and the battle is over. That's not how this feels. The only thing that's reassuring is that now we're on the same page. Now when Michael has his problems, I'll be there to try to understand them. He has somebody to talk to about them. I'm thankful that we were able to get to this point. Tears start rolling down my cheeks, but I wipe them away with my sleeve. I look into Michael's neighborhood and wonder if someone overheard us. It's a little bit embarrassing, but I can't think of any other place we could have had a conversation like this. The rooftop is where we met each other long ago. After a little while, Michael pulls away from me and wipes his tears. We're both sitting in the same position we were not so long ago. I glance over at him and wonder how he's doing now. This whole thing must have left him in an unsettled mood. I notice that he's gently placing his hand on his stomach, almost like he's rubbing it. I start to panic, wondering if he's going to throw up or something. I'm really fucking hungry. Oh. I might eat the whole fridge. The shelves, the ice in the freezer, everything. I'm just really hungry. That means that knot in his stomach that was like killing him and his soul, it just released. It's one of the best feelings in the world. I let out a laugh for once in a long time that feels like forever. Slapping Michael gently on the back, I turn to him and smile. Well, we better get back inside then, huh? Oh, you guys. Sounds like a plan. He's crying. He smiles back at me. Really smiles. This is the first time I've seen him really smile in this whole game. Not so long ago, I would have done anything just to see that smile of his. And now, I've finally seen it again. And somehow, I feel like there's something new here. I feel like there's something new between us and that he's just awakened. Before I get up and take my way down to the roof, I look back out on the night sky. At the night sky. What's out there beyond that horizon? Where do we go from here? Well, I'm not completely sure. What I do know is, we're both not alone anymore. We have each other to look out for. We won't be forgetting each other anytime soon. No, you won't. Oh, you guys. That was beautiful. I was so worried this was going to end in somebody actually dying, because that's how most visual novels end. Poke, poke, Doki Doki Literature Club. But yeah, I'm really glad. What a beautiful ending. Just what a beautiful game. This was so amazing, and it touched on a lot of very sensitive issues, LGBT issues, and, depression, sexual harassment, things like that. And I think it handled it beautifully, and I loved it so much. What did you guys think? Did you guys enjoy this game? Did you guys not enjoy this game? What do you want me to play next? I want to hear from you in the comments below. I want to know what you thought. Excuse me. I'm burping like crazy. This was a beautiful game. I loved it. It was awesome. If you guys like new and exciting gaming videos, be sure to hit that little subscription button and that bell so you get notified every time I post. I post every day. Look at this. Thanks to everyone who kept patient while supporting this game for such a long time. My friends who cheered me on, thank you so much. And thank you for playing to the end. That's beautiful. And then look at us. We're happy. And we're framed in this beautiful little flowery thing. Go us. Ending 2. Oh. So that was just ending 2. So let's see right here. CG stuff. Oh, look at that. There's quite a couple scenes locked. Well, I think we got the good ending, thankfully. I'm kind of nervous to know what the other endings are, but if you guys want to see more, just let me know. Tell me in the comments below. Alright, you guys, hey, it's been fun. I had fun. I hope you had fun on this crazy journey with me. I'm Richard with Everlasting Gaming, and as always, have a good night.